Hi there, and welcome to Canadian Profits TV. My name's Dave Dubeau, and I'm your host. What are we talking about this week? Well, for our business breakthrough, we're going to be getting more in depth into our list, our discussion about the importance of the list and what information you absolutely have to gather to make your list as powerful as possible. For our real estate tips, we're going to be doing an overview of rent to own, what it's all about. And for our mindset minute, I'm going to tell you about why perfectionism sucks. Stay tuned. So one of the questions I get from people when they're just starting to get their mind around creating a list for their business or their company is, Dave, what information should I gather? And a lot of people really want to, and especially today in the day of technology, they want to go cheap and they just want to do email marketing. So they say, well, I'll be fine if I just get a person's name and their email address. Well, yes and no. There's a huge challenge to that. Here's the problem with only concentrating on email addresses. The deliverability rate for emails is just absolutely crappy. So that means once you get into having a serious number of email addresses, let's say you send out 1,000 emails to 1,000 different people. Depending on the service that you're using, you're actually lucky if 600 or 700 of them actually arrive in the other person's inbox. Most of them are getting put into junk mail. They're not even making it in at all. They're being considered spam, and they're not getting there. The other challenge is, let's say you get 60% or 600 of your 1,000 emails actually get delivered. The other challenge is, how many of those emails actually get opened? So the industry average is, if you send out 1,000 emails, you're lucky if 100 to 140 of them actually get opened up. And that's absolutely pitiful. So if you're only focusing on email advertising, email marketing, you're sending out 1,000, you're only getting at most like 140 opened. That leaves 860 people that aren't seeing your message. How many sales you're losing because of that? Tons and tons and tons. So I always encourage people, especially the higher the value of your transaction, the more information you want to get on folks. So rock bottom minimum is, yes, name and email address. That's the absolute minimum. But I wouldn't stop there. I get first name, last name. I get their full mailing address. I try and get their phone number, cell phone number, fax number, email address, of course. And the more information you have about the person, the more you can communicate with them. So especially nowadays with the ease of mail merge and with your own computer in the office, the way you can merge information together very, very easily, the more personal you make it, the better results you're going to have. So the more information you can get for your list, the better. All right, due to popular demand, our real estate tip for this week and the next few weeks is going to be about rent-to-own real estate investing. Now, this is a concept that's very, very popular because of several reasons. First of all, it works in pretty much any real estate market. So whether the market's going up, down, flat, you can still do rent-to-owns profitably. Second of all, there's a variety of different ways you can do rent-to-owns, all the way from doing it with a property you already own, to getting an investor to buy a property for one of your tenant buyers for your client, or to working with somebody where you don't even, a property owner, where you don't even own their property, they own it, and you end up rent-to-owning it to somebody else and keeping a nice big profit right in the middle. So a lot of the benefits of rent-to-own are a lot higher cash flow on a month-to-month basis than traditional renting, a lot lower property maintenance issues because your tenant tends to do those things, and a lot lower tenant headaches because you're working with what our good friend Linda Rose Yellick calls homeowners in training. So these are folks that can't get into a home on their own right now but desperately want to, so they're kind of like homeowners in training because they really want to own their own home. So those are some of the big advantages to doing rent-to-own real estate investing, and next week I'll talk to you about the first way, which is traditional rent-to-own real estate investing. Stay tuned for that. So for today's Mindset Minute, I want to talk about why I think perfectionism sucks. Why do I say that? Because I see over and over and over again people getting stuck and not doing anything because they're perfectionists. They're stuck in analysis paralysis. They have to have everything set up perfectly before they'll take a leap, before they'll do anything. And actually, I think in a lot of cases, perfectionism is an excuse for procrastination. It's just another reason to sit on your duff and not do anything. So I'll run circles around a perfectionist all day long, doing things kind of messily, kind of a little haphazardly, but taking action and getting going is far, far, far better than just overanalyzing everything to the nth degree. That's what I see with the most successful people that I know, is that they're kind of ready, shoot, aim kind of people, because they know that they'll figure out how to do things as they go along versus getting it all figured out up front before they take the first leap. So if you tend to be a perfectionist, I highly recommend that you look at that and you take one small step towards doing something messily and getting going and starting it versus trying to figure it out and having it perfect right from the very start. That's your Mindset Minute. All right, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Canadian Profits TV. Stay tuned next week where, for our business breakthrough, we're going to be talking about how to keep your list warm. Now that you've got this list of past clients, current customers, prospective customers, what do you do with it? That's what we'll be talking about next week. For our real estate tip, we're going to be talking about the traditional rent-to-own method. And for our Mindset Minute, we're going to be talking about the Rocky method of rolling with the punches. Stay tuned for next week. And speaking of what's coming up, and if you're interested in rent-to-own real estate investing, I'm going to be doing a special free webinar all about that on Tuesday, August the 23rd. You can find out all about that and register for that at CanadianProfitsWebinar.com. CanadianProfitsWebinar.com. Love your comments, love your feedback. Keep it coming in the comment boxes below. If you have any questions, please send them to my good man, Wagner, at marketing@resultsenterprises.com. Take care. Talk to you next week.
Canadian Profit Ninjas are here. Have you heard about the Canadian Profits membership program yet? If you aren't a member, you should be. It's the best of Canada's information, education, and inspiration for business owners and real estate investors. If you want to be the ninja in your business, go ahead and take a test drive of the program and get a free book by clicking on one of the banners to the right of this video.